To you, I am Pearson Bowen. As crop over reaches its climax, there is concern tonight that bad weather could place a serious damper on tomorrow's Pick of the Crop finals, scheduled for Kensington Oval, starting at 7. Predictions from the Met Office indicate that Barbados could begin experiencing heavy rains from tomorrow afternoon as a result of a weather system approaching the area. For the very latest now, we go live to our meteorologist, David Best. David.
All right, good evening to you, Pearson, and good evening to all viewers. And this is the latest statement that was put out from the National Hurricane Center. Actually, a reconnaissance aircraft continues to investigate the area of low pressure, which is located under 450 miles to the east of the Windward Islands. Now, observations from the aircraft indicate that this system is producing winds of up to 40 to 50 miles per hour in the northern portion of the circulation. Showers and thunderstorms could redevelop over the low tonight or Friday, which could result in tropical cyclone formation. Now, this is the most important part. Now, regardless of the development of this system, gale force winds are possible and likely to spread across Barbados and across the Lesser Antilles tonight and into tomorrow. Now, we are urging you to continue to monitor the system very, very closely. We certainly are going to be monitoring it very, very closely, and I'll give you all the details later. Pearson?
David, thank you. And corporate communications specialist with the National Cultural Foundation, Simone Codrington, says a contingency plan has been put in place to shift the finals in the event of heavy rains.
The contingency for the system would be to use the gymnasium. That is always our alternate location. That is already set up just in case the weather system does that. A decision will be made probably by tomorrow, and we'll get back to you on that.
Barbados is spending about $16 million to support airlift into the island. This from Chairman of the Barbados Tourism Authority, Adrian Alcock, as he addressed the annual general meeting of the Intimate Hotels of Barbados. He says it's necessary given the way the airline industry operates.
An airline would rather fly when they're full. That naturally happens in the winter season and in the crop over season for some markets. They would rather deploy those planes to other areas where they can make money. So simplistically speaking, we need to keep those planes in the sky traveling southeast to Barbados, and we pay them to do so. And there is only so much we can afford to pay. Right now, we're spending on average about $16 million a year protecting airlift for Barbados.
Mr. Alcott noted that while Barbados would really like more airlift, there is a limit to what the country can offer in support. He also says that the existing arrangements do more than guarantee seating capacity. They also impact on affordability.
The reality is, to keep your hotels full, to keep people employed, all of these factors, we need to play a part in creating an affordable package that allows people to enjoy our island. We cannot exist on 200,000 or 300,000 high net worth people to our country. That is a reality, and as much as we like to say we are a high-end destination, it is not absolutely accurate. We are a destination that has a high-cost basis, but is also very much an aspirational destination where many people of all social brackets would like to experience and enjoy.
An assertion that Barbadians appear to be more interested in crop over than they are in their health. And for the head of the National Committee for Prevention of Alcoholism and Drug Dependency, it's cause for concern. Pastor Victor Roach's comments come as this is the final weekend of the Crop Over Festival. He says mixing medication and alcohol happens frequently at this time of the year.
The specific medicine on a medicine taken, all medicines that is, amount of medicine taken, amount of alcohol consumed, type of drinking in relation to the time of taking the medicine, and how the particular medicine is broken down by your body. Two examples of these are Valium and antihistamines, which can cause greater sedative effect, drowsiness and confusion.
On the issue of drinking and driving, Pastor Roach says there are still some telltale signs of drunk driving. He's advised the public to call the police if they notice any of those signs.
Drivers who take wide turns, straddle the center line, pass extremely close to objects, drive unreasonably fast or slow, hug the shoulder, edge of the road, and do a lot of excessive weaving. Fail to use headlights at night, and we've heard some reports of some drivers and others using the roads have been driving with their lights out. Windows open in cold or undesirable weather.
A number of local businesses have reportedly been targets of cyber attacks in recent months, with hackers causing them substantial losses. The revelation comes from the Caribbean Cybersecurity Center, the company which has been responding to this type of criminal activity, helping businesses beef up their defenses in this regard. Speaking on Morning Barbados, senior consultant with the firm, James Bino, says there's been a surge in cybercrime across the globe over the last 12 to 24 months.
We have responded to organizations here in Barbados within the last couple of months that have some that have lost money and some that came close to losing money, and that impacts their ability to grow, hire new employees. So it's a real world threat. We shouldn't have to wait till something happens to then take this threat seriously.
Mr. Bino's comments come as the Caribbean Cybersecurity Center prepares to host a workshop focusing on cybercrime. It's there where they will be showing local business owners and others why cybercrime should be taken seriously.
We in the Caribbean need to understand that as we become more connected, as we become more dependent on technology for our daily businesses and how we operate, we have to invest in securing the very thing that is the bread and butter of our organizations. So it's not, so we find that many ICT professionals struggle in convincing their senior management that they need to invest in security and cybersecurity. You know, there are two ways you can go after things, proactively or reactively. What we're saying is that when businesses invest up front a few dollars in making sure they have the right cyber protections in place, and oh, by the way, many of the fixes are free, which we cover at the workshop. Right. It goes a long way in saving you from losing thousands of dollars.
CEO and founder of defunct regional carrier RedJet, Ian Burns, is dead. He was 58. He succumbed to a massive heart attack in his native Ireland on Wednesday. Burns founded and ran the low-fare carrier in May 2011. It was incorporated in Barbados after Jamaica refused to register the airline in that jurisdiction. Burns believed that the region could be unified by affordable and efficient air travel, which would bolster the region's economy. With 2 MD-82 planes and 94 employees, he set about to link Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, St. Lucia and Guyana with fares as low as US $9.99 one way. One of the local businessmen involved in the RedJet venture, Ralph Busy Williams, said he learned of the news of Burns' death yesterday. Mr. Williams also expressed the view that the frustrations associated with trying to establish the airline had taken a toll on Mr. Burns' health over the years.
A very interesting gentleman who had the interests of Barbados at heart. He was frustrated totally while he was here trying to get RedJet launched, and I have no doubt that that contributed to his untimely death.
Burns leaves to mourn his widow and a son, Robbie. Now for your take tonight, where we hear directly from you. Do you believe that cheaper airfares like those offered by RedJet could lead to more business and travel across the Caribbean? We'd like you to text yes or no to the short code 8111. We'll share the results at the end of the news.
Dear Clark, I've made a fascinating discovery, the institutional water cooler. Its gravitational pull sucks people from their workstations at the busiest times of day to stand around it and chat about emerging global trends like, will pink be in fashion next season? Meanwhile, the world slows to a stop as it waits in line to be served. I don't see that trend at Globe Finance.
Globe Finance. Think outside the bank.
When it comes to their financial service, slow is out, swift is in.
Girl, things were wrong with the finances. I got to buy school shoes for Kalisha. My birthday is next weekend, and I would like to have a real nice Sunday lunch. But I said that happening.
Wait, what happened to all the gold dresses we dressed down in? You don't wear them no more?
Girl, I just ain't into nothing so no more.
Well, then I got the answer for you. Barbados Gold Buyers.
Call us now at 437-2274 or 836-2274 or check us online at barbadosgoldbuyers.com. Barbados Gold Buyers, it's money in the bank.
Yet another overseas-based charity says it is only too happy to help children in Barbados, but the process surrounding the donation of items is too cumbersome. The complaint from the Hilltops Association Incorporated. The organization was formed in 1972 by a group of teenagers from the Christchurch Parish Church. Several of its members have since migrated to the U.S., but they've continued the tradition of helping students. The program has been expanded from 2 schools to include 1 school from each parish. Barbados coordinator Vasco Toppin says the organization faces a mammoth task each year as it tries to get school supplies and other items imported into the island.
We had to come here first, get a letter, go to the airport, pay some money, then they send us all the way back down to customs, then we had to come back up to the broker, a whole set of running around to do. And of course, there is always protocol that you have to observe when you import things, because nowadays when so much dope is being shipped, all over the world, you have to be careful. So I do not blame the customs for this, but I was thinking that perhaps with the Ministry of Education involved in this, that there could be some straight transaction.
Speaking shortly before several students were presented with plaques and a $100 check, Chief Education Officer Laurie King promised to help ease the process for the group. He also thanked them for continuing to help students.
I hope that the assistance provided today will be of tremendous assistance to teachers and students as they seek to enhance the delivery of quality education and to improve the abilities of all our students.
Plans are in train for Barbados to build an offshore services industry providing major job opportunities for Barbadians. It is the brainchild of the Barbados Coalition of Service Industries, which is in the process of studying gaps in the regional job market where highly skilled Barbadian workers can find employment. News of this from Executive Director Lisa Cummins speaking at a competency-based training fund awareness seminar focusing on access to financing for training. She says it will form part of Barbados' service export platform.
We're looking now to move into training persons to service what we call our offshore services. We're offshoring services now. How do we service other economies with services that exist in Barbados in surplus or don't even exist at all? How do we then position Barbados to be among the Chinas and the Indias in our own specific niches that are producing persons who are skilled in a range of areas that then establishes a reputation for Barbados as a high-quality service exporting economy?
Ms. Cummins, however, says that building Barbados' services sector to world-class standards will not happen overnight. She says it could take more than 5 or 10 years to get the job done.
While we've been producing highly skilled graduates that become a part of our workforce for many, many years, the time has come for us to upgrade those skills. No longer is it sufficient for us to be producing a high number of lawyers, a high number of doctors every year in terms of quantity. What we're looking for here now is scope, areas of specialization, and areas of export potential for Barbados so we can earn that all-important foreign exchange, we can generate higher levels of employment, we can address the underrepresented issue of underemployment, and we can create a world-class services sector for Barbados.
At least one hotel is continuing to educate its staff and guests of the numerous benefits associated with adopting a healthy lifestyle. The Crane Resort recently hosted its 5th annual health fair under the theme, "The Greatness of Wealth is Health." The St. Philip property was transformed as several healthcare professionals, distributors and groups, including the Barbados Cancer Society, the Barbados Dental Association, the HIV/AIDS unit of the Ministry of Labour, Coverley Medical Centre and the Barbados Family Planning Association, mounted booths. Coordinator of the event and Human Resource Officer at the resort, Shade Pigot, said staff responded well to the event.
The response is great. We have over 400 staff complement, and we had a great turnout today. The staff are enjoying themselves. It's a lot of planning, definitely, to get everything together, but in all, we had a great day.
Regional news ahead, but first, remember, we want to hear from you on this question. Do you believe that cheaper airfares like those offered by RedJet would lead to more business and travel across the Caribbean?